All right, and welcome back, everyone. So, if you missed last our previous episode, we did talk about feeling when we start judging others, when we start feeling offended, when we see others who are doing things that perhaps we don't agree with, or they say something on Facebook that we don't agree with, and where those feelings of judgment, those thoughts of being offended, where all that comes from. And so I invite you guys to go and rewatch or listen to that episode, as that's going to tie into what we're going to talk about today. Because what we want to talk about today is, okay, we talked about, okay, why that happens last time, but what can we do about it? Because obviously none of us want to feel those feelings of anger. None of us really want to feel those feelings of resentment towards others. And so what can we start doing if, let's say, we're scrolling Facebook, or we're talking with our cousin and they bring up something political that we don't agree with? What can we do in order to, I guess, negate or stop feeling those feelings of wanting to judge others?
Well, we have to understand first. Okay, we need to really know our mind. We need to know our fears. We need to understand also our the pain that we carry and the abandonments, because everybody had in an occasion, anything that is taking place. So, and also if we are dominated by specific emotions, we need to know. So that it takes a little bit of practice, and there are some tools that we have through connection and current therapy that will help us to identify. This is very important. Now, of course, we can do things like I can say, okay, I'm not going to judge, which is okay. It's good to know that this is a statement I'm making, but uh, there'll be a tough call, because a lot of these things that are underneath, they're going to emerge when a situation comes, whatever it might be. No? So if I have certain bias towards certain things, uh, or if I'm have certain tendencies and I don't identify those, I don't see that I had jealousy or envy. It's some of those tendencies. Or if there are fears and I don't know. So, of course, when I'm in front of whatever situation, this judgmental, uh, condition will come, as a reaction. It'll be a reflexive, like a reflexive movement.
Yeah.
So, as I say, it's good to say, okay, well, I'm not going to judge. That's a good thing. No, and of course, it's good to ponder about our behavior in thinking of the possibility of having a better life if I don't carry this way to react. No, and that's absolutely okay. It's a first step. No, of
Yeah.
course, there's a previous step to that. That's recognizing that we have a problem. Okay, and if I don't recognize that I have a problem, I mean, of course, it's going to be hard to see anything. No, there's not going to be clarity. It's going to be blur in our mind. So it's going to be a little bit of darkness. We may not think we are in darkness, but we do if we react quickly, because there's so many things and I don't see that. So, but don't worry about it, because don't worry about anybody that's doing this. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to judge the person that's perhaps have no clarity, because life is designed in a way that new experiences are going to come. They're going to put us against the wall so we can confront, we can see what's happening. And of course, there are emotions involved with that. And we discussed about last week. So, what can I do? Okay. Um, First thing, I need to really not run away from the pain of confronting, you
Yeah.
know, my condition, my mental condition, my emotional condition. That's the first thing. It's a little tough, because that's the reason why we fall on that on with a problem. No, we don't want to see it. Okay, it's painful. So this thing is gonna be. organized in my mind with all these memories of my own situation. So, and of course, the other thing that comes with that, not trying to see it, is that we won't be able to be compassionate because we become very harsh on ourselves. Okay? We're going to be harsh uh, with our own mistakes. We're not going to handle properly. And of course, if I'm harsh, it hurts. So I may even pile up a wall to be sure I don't see anything, no, and which is going to keep me with this automatic way to judge others. So, anyway, well, this compassion thing had to do with a process that starts with empathy. See, it's like empathy towards myself, because in reality, I make the mess, regardless whether it was when I was 10 or 12 or 28 or 52. I'm the one that make the choices. So, and it's not like we have a split personality. No, it's just that they're memories. And I did it. And I had to really kind of consider the possibility that perhaps those wrong decisions of the past are keeping me now on a prison. And I had to liberate myself from that. So I had to see that from a different angle.
So, real quick, so I just do want to make a comment. So then, really, based on what you're saying, when we do, when we feel, like judging others, when we feel like we're, offended by someone else, in reality, it really has very little, if nothing, to do with the other person. It actually has really everything to do with ourselves. The mistakes or the things that we just have now resolved. Is that correct in saying?
That is correct. It's a mirror. Okay. Now the problematic part of this is that since I could have that thing in there, and not necessarily will harm me if I'm compassionate with myself, because the process of empathy and compassion will help me to liberate myself from judging harshly. Okay, but I'm gonna see the reality of the mistake. Okay, whatever it might be, it was a mistake. Okay, I'm not the person that made the mistake 20 years ago or yesterday. It was a mistake. There was pain. Okay, in the pain, it was a call of attention. So I don't follow that route. And this is the physiological part through the emotion of whatever it is, guilt or whatever emotion comes. So I didn't handle properly. Okay? And I hid myself, didn't want to confront that. But it's still there. I can't hide. It's impossible to hide from that. No, it's the memory there. So what I had done is actually not handle it right. And I piled this, and it's there, here in me. Now, when something happened outside me, whatever it might be, a person make a mistake too, or say something, or the weather changes, or whatever it might be. No, so these emotions are going to arise, and this is the things that the history of my past, okay, the fears and the things that have not been resolved. It creates a great opportunity, really to kind of deal with that, see as it was, really, not as I perceive at the moment. Not with a misinterpretation. No, as it was, like a bird flying. You observe it, it passed by you, and it's gone. Mm-hmm. So it's the same way, but we didn't do it right in the first place. The mistake was there. The pain came. I didn't want to see it. This is horrible. I don't want to deal with this. We hide. Okay, we cover it up. We pretend it didn't happen. Okay, or we blame somebody else. So in that way, we distract ourselves from the reality. It was my mother whose fault is. Okay, so that thing is going to be there. It's no way to escape. There's no way. Not in 50 years, not in 100 years. So, and it will be like what's going to trigger, okay, future events.
Mm.
So what the person did at this moment, a second ago, is going to stimulate, my own situation. And there's going to be a mirror of this thing. I'm going to feel the pain. I don't want to deal with this is what I've been doing. I'm an expert now. So I'm going to transfer my pain to somebody else, thinking that will work. And it doesn't work. No, this will never work. There is no way how that's going to work. It is an illusion. So I keep living the illusion. So I direct my own pain, and putting the attention on someone else's mistakes, or judging somebody because their beliefs or, some of their mistakes, some of their actions. It really is me who is being portrayed in the front of this. And this is what we need to understand. So that's, what you mentioned, Ulysses, is really what is happening. Now, to be mature enough to see it, that's what we're here together to discuss how we proceed.
Yeah. And I do want to make one quick comment. You already touched on this, but I just want to, I guess, expound upon it. Is you talked about having compassion with yourself, because I as we learn these things, as we learn, oh, I shouldn't be judging, I shouldn't be doing these things, or oh, this is a reflection of me, of things I haven't resolved. I think it can be easy to feel those feelings and be like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm so stupid, or I shouldn't be doing this, is so foolish, like to start judging yourself for judging others. And so, yeah, and so keep in mind that a compassion, like you said, Dad, is very much needed during this whole process. Compassion with others, but also compassion for yourself.
Yeah, and the compassion with others, it won't take place until I learn to have compassion for myself. I mean, I can be empathetic. That's a mechanism that we cannot avoid. It is genetic. It is within our own divine nature. We see somebody hurting, so we feel the pain. That's the first phase. But the compassion part is the action that I'm going to take. The action to alleviate, the extra burden on the person that is having the pain. In this case, it's me. No, I can feel. So of course, I have to be empathetic. Empathetic means that actually I can understand. Of course, I cannot avoid the pain of the situation because it's there. I didn't resolve it. It's there. Okay, so I see this situation that's internal. Okay, it's mental, emotional, physical. It's everything there. The spiritual part also is kind of stuck in the middle of a invisible prison. Okay, so you can actually empathetically you can be feeling the pain at at the body, at the soul. You feel the pain in your spirit. See, you don't get distracted. You just feel it, and then the compassion comes when you want to lift the weight, and you say, "Okay, what's the process? Apparently, this system I use it doesn't work. I thought that it worked by focusing on somebody else, but now it's 10 years later, 20 years later, 40 years later, I'm still trapped, So you say, it doesn't work. Now I'm going to do something. Okay. Compassionately, I will try to lift the weight. The weight that's carrying my 70 trillion cells with inflammation because my way of life and behaviors and my reaction to situations. And I'm going to do this the right way, which means I'm going to confront the pain. And the good thing about this is really transitory. This is the big deception that we kind of got caught up in the past. Okay, we think that by running, we're removing the pain, but it's actually we're extending the pain. We're making it the suffering part, which is the memories of the pain continue. And now I want to stop that. Now let's say I'm 40, 35, or maybe 25 or 18 or 95. And I look at this and I say, it just doesn't work. So we become a little conscious. Doesn't mean that we are done and everything is great. No, this is a step. Okay. So there's a higher level of conscience. And I, look at this and I say, okay, the process is to confront this pain, but understanding that this is transitory. And you have to see it that way. Okay. So the feeling of guilt or whatever feeling of pain that is there, okay, because of a mistake that I made, I'm going to be a witness. Just like when I have a cut, no? See, if I cut my finger, so what I do is I'm not going to open the cut and show it to everybody, every day. Look at what happened, no? And open it. Man, I'm going to lose my hand. If I do this for 1 year, everybody that comes, look at this. No, and that's what we're doing when we are judging, when we are, acting in this way. We open a wound because we didn't give the time and have the right process to heal. If we get cut, we feel the pain, we wash it, we do what it needs to be done, put a bandage, don't use this hand too much, let it rest, for a little bit, and the healing happens. I'm not going to be saying, I don't want this pain or it's horrible, because it's worse. It's going to be a lot more inflammation because, stress hormones, they won't let you heal properly. Okay, maybe I tell you it hurts, and you tell me, okay, let's go and wash it. Okay. And then we put a bandage and a few days later it's fine. And as a matter of fact, a few hours later, I'm going to be okay. So this is the process. And when it comes to these mental conditions, that turns into behaviors, we do the same. There is something that I did wrong. There is pain. I'm going to confront it. Okay. And then I'm not going to put excuses. I'm not going to say, I did this because I was a poor kid in school, didn't have shoes, and I stole the shoes, and I have the right to do it. Neither because my mom didn't give me. We have to take full responsibility. And why we do this is crucial. And if we don't do it, okay, it'll be a problem. So then we have to do another part of this. Because part of this process of now reconciling with these mistakes is because somehow we don't understand who we are. So what we do is I try to put the image. I put an image of me, and I want you to see that. Ulysses, see this. I'm a good man. Okay. See my skills. I talk about it. Now, if what I think about myself, it depends on this image. Shame will come along the way. Oh my goodness. If I reconcile this, Ulysses is going to know, and he may not respect me as, I want him to respect me. He may not love me. He may not, or he may do this. So this is related to this false idea. Okay. The who I am, has to do with what you think about me. Because there is more into it. There is more like this nature, the divine part that I am. So when I do that, then it's freedom. Okay, freedom. Okay. Now I know that I don't have to really give an account to someone else first. Of course, I have to give an account to you, because if I make a mistake, I have to come to you and say, I'm sorry. Here is the damage. I want to recompense or do whatever I have to do. So, but the first person I have to give to account is to myself, because I cannot hide from that. So I need to take the responsibility. Okay. And I'm not talking about being perfectionist. I'm not talking about trying to portray a image of me for comparing myself with other person or looking myself righteous. No, this is not what it's all about. This is about me understanding my nature, who I am. Okay. Not what I want people to think who I am. Not what my mind think who I am. Not what people tell me in TV how I should be. This is about me. The one that has the freedom, the one that is free to decide what thoughts are for my benefits and can direct the mind, the one that's free from the emotions and know how to handle when a situation comes, the one that can be immune to criticism. Okay, that has the courage to do this. The one that can live with internal peace regardless of what's happening in the external world. Okay, and this is what you bring to freedom. And then you actually, when you do this in the process, that's what compassion is. Okay, you see, that perhaps you drift yourself, you were swayed maybe 20 years ago by a thought, maybe somebody's idea, or maybe an emotion, and you understand that was just a little kid. That was just a young person. That was just, lack of maturity at that point. And then you become kind because there was, in a way, somehow a little bit of ignorance. There was no clarity. There was no discernment. But still, it was someone that wants to do good, that wants to have a better life. At that moment, it was confused. Okay, and then you actually lift the weight from this soul of yours or your spirit who has been living in a prison for so long. Okay, and that's what compassion is. And then you, at that point, you will start discovering things that are so amazingly wonderful. And then you're going to see another person. There's no way that you can judge the person because you're so conscious about this and you know there's still things that are hidden that have to be reconciled. That's going to come one day or another, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 months. So no way, even with your much more clear understanding of, and even if you are in a better position now because you understand better, still, you're ignorant because there's things to change. So you won't dare pass a judgment. Okay? And this is nothing that is an analytical order. It's not about reasoning. Okay, I'm going to structure the ideas and act this way when this happens. No. Okay. Of course, you use your mind. Okay, but you use your mind. It's not that you are taking the mind to kind of program a system to kind of become a better person and stop judging. No, that doesn't work. No. See, you, whoever you think you are, okay, spirit, conscience, soul, is the one that has to do it, has to take charge. So, and that is the whole process. And of course, this is not a pill. I hope there's a pill. We all want a pill that can make me change because, man, now I see the consequences of my behavior. It is so habitual. I don't want this anymore. I've been judging people. I lost my ex-wife or ex-husband, whoever, or my son is not talking to me, or so many good friends are no longer around me. And I see the damage I create. I want a quick pill. It won't work. I mean, it's just not about going to a seminar for 10 hours. Of course, it's going to benefit you. It's going to do some good. But these things, are more deeper. It requires, more than intellectual order, more, more than just reasoning. It takes a little bit more. It is the planting of the seed of our divine nature.
It's really
Grow.
and it's really a lifelong journey. Like even for someone like you who has been applying these things for years and continues to learn and apply, I'm sure you can speak to saying that even you have plenty to work on. Like it's a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong thing.
Yeah, it's like and we have to do this. And the more that you coming from a situation, the more opportunities happen to you. It's going to surface. It's going to emerge some of the things that you need to improve. What a great opportunity. See, for example, yesterday, one person, wrote something in a social media with a few comments that were, not the best comments, And and it's in these things that you encounter, it will help you. It's not that I'm a saint. I feel the emotion by reading that, and then you move into see what is that I have to improve, because this emotion, unpleasant, it helps you to see if you understand and know how to do it. So I look inside and I say, okay, I see what happened, and even if I don't know what it is, I move into empathy. And this is, I understand, this is a sign that there is some pain that's hidden in me, that it has to come to the surface. And then I become compassionate. And then I turn my compassion to the other person. I can understand. So you're right. Instead of attacking, defending, you kind of move into the person's perspective. And that's what I did. And I say thank you for writing. And I wasn't just being a politician, no? And I was saying, I'm glad that you're speaking up. And I really mean it. Because when the person speaks, some of the things that are bothering come to the surface too. Okay. And then I say, I understand why you feel this way. But let's explore together and see how we can make this better. And the person wrote me back, and we were interchanging. And he is so glad. And he was so apologetic at what he had wrote, because he was very, very nasty, okay, the way he did it. But, we're talking about another human being. That is, I'm there. So I'm thinking I'm the same person, because this behavior, in a way or another, I had displayed before. Maybe openly, or maybe in a different way. Okay. So that is what life is about. See, it's the freedom. So I don't let my emotions sway me to kind of attack this person, or defend myself, or run away from him, or shut him down, by confronting, because this is also my health, my mental health. The freedom of my soul against all these things have been perhaps for long. I've been encased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know what else to add to what you've said. This has been a very I really enjoyed this episode. I've just been wanting to listen, because I think there's been a lot of good. Hopefully, whoever's watching, listening to this also has been picking up on honestly the important message that is realizing that when we feel these emotions, when we have these experiences, one, realize that it's a reflection, a mirror of something that's inside. And two, that's a good thing, because that then provides an opportunity for us to go inward and see, okay, what is it inside of us? What have we not resolved? What is inside of us that needs to change, so that we can have that peace of mind? We can have that happier life, because it is not a happy life to go through our every day thinking, look at Jim, look at what he said on Facebook, or look at Maria, who she voted for. Like that does not lead to a happy life.
Yeah, and it's the other part of this is that it's not like this is separate issues when I judge and nothing else happened. No, there are a lot of stuff underneath. There are fears. There is also a condition that is continue accumulating through time. More suffering and inaction. Because when we pass judgment, there is inaction. I mean, accordingly, we have to judge. There are some things. I mean, there is injustice. It's an immediate feeling of anger, and that's okay. See, that little anger that lasts for a few seconds is going to help you. If we see how these other emotions underneath are coming, it's going to also help you. Now you take action. So you're compassionate. And the action is, maybe I go and vote. The action is, maybe I join this voluntary group to help people in Africa. Maybe I write a book. Maybe I sing a song. Maybe I do something. Maybe I dance with the little kids. So that action is a wonder. So if I sit there to just write and nothing else, right? And they start attacking other people, I mean, it's not going to do any good. I mean, the thing is on the healing part. See?
Mhm.
Is it like, when, a psychiatric doctor, receive a patient that is lost his mind? I mean, he's not going to take a baseball bat and kill him. Eh, I mean, of course, he might hold it together, tie him up, okay, probably give him a little bit of calm medication. Then he treat him and trying to help him. So we live in a world where we are sick in a way or another, and we are healers to each other. Okay?
Mhm.
And we do that process doing the healing is if we learn. So a doctor will learn, spend hours and hours studying to know the mental condition. The neurologist will learn about it, understand hours and hours. They understand behavior. So now, you know, we can do the same. We can understand our mind. In this case, we need to understand what really is happening. This is not about judging and trying to analyze, okay, why am I doing this and whose fault it is, and no, or when it happened. It's not necessary. If it comes, let it be. I remember that, let's say when I was 5, I don't know, somebody judged me. It's okay. Okay. And that has a purpose. No, you need to feel the emotion, reconcile something that it wasn't reconciled way back, and move on. Okay. But if I sit there thinking, oh my goodness, poor me, and everything is wrong, and why the teacher didn't interfere, and why this other student, why my friend say this, okay, why mom didn't buy me shoes, so that's why the other people bully me, or why they buy me these shoes, they shouldn't buy me these shoes. It's just a mess. So, and that's what it actually get us to the place where we are. And understanding around that, the memory, the secretaries, that the maps that we have created is what it counts. That's when I see what really is happening. Now I can be like professional doctor. I won't kill the other person, attack him. Eh, If it's injustice, I will be proactive and I'll be sure that things are done right. I mean, if a guy has to go to jail because he did something really that can affect society, then must be. But I won't hate the person. Neither I want him to be. No, I want him to go to jail, and then I will love the system that go and teach him so he sees. And I might go and visit him in jail and say, look, there's not bad feelings. It was painful. What happened? What you did? As I said, let's heal together. Okay, why you don't go and take those classes that the prison guard is trying to give it? Okay, and I do my part because we don't know, what it really is, what is moving people to act and do things like they do. Just the same way as I don't even know everything because I never pay attention to the things that I put in my luggage right here. Okay, later around, we see a hammer coming out. We don't even know who put it there. We think that somebody else did it. Okay, it was my brother who did it. We were the one. Or if we allow someone else to put it, we will probably treasure some of those things that are harmful, with the purpose of not trying to take responsibility. Okay, because I don't want to see, the fears that I have built. I don't want to confront it. And it's just an illusion because it won't solve anything.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think this has been a great discussion. Honestly, I think that's all I got. I think we will wrap up with that unless you have any final thoughts.
The only thing is that to let everybody know that independently of where we are, we can do this anytime. It requires practice, as you mentioned, but we have some tools that we could, provide to anyone that is willing to make the needed change. Is there another choice? There's not. Because the choice is I continue living this way, expecting that the world will change for me. Okay, it won't happen. Expecting that my kid behave better or my my neighbor, or there's a new president in the country. That's a fantasy. It won't happen. Of course, we want freedom, external freedom. We want good things to happen, and that's good and important. We have to defend it. We have to, fight for it. I mean, not kill anybody, but say, be participant. No, but I'm talking about the internal freedom. That's the one that really matters, because everything can be beautiful and dandy and great. I can have everything, the freedom to move, the freedom to vote, the freedom to work, have a business, but that doesn't give me internal freedom. That's something that I have to build. I have to really remove things. And we all have an opportunity to do that. So I say the other choice is keep living the way we are, hiding it. Because, just like me, you asked me 25 years ago how you were, how I was, I say, I'm great. Yeah, I love everybody. Everything is great. But it was just the image that I want to present. But deep inside, there was a lot of confusion. I didn't want to see it. I don't want nobody to see it because, my image was important. And I realized, over time that was heading to suffering. And I experienced a lot of that suffering. So I'm glad that, there's a way to turn around, and we all can do that at any point in our life. Thank you.